Welcome to Canines for America. My name is Ryan and this is Tiny, and today we're going to be working on the Melancholic Canine 101. Let's get started. Welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about how to work with a melancholic canine and how to self-diagnose that melancholic canine. Now, a melancholic canine is a fantastic dog if you're especially looking for that companion type of a dog. You're not a highly active person as a human. You're not looking to do a lot of sport with the dog. What you're looking for is a dog that is going to be great with your family, a dog that's going to be great to do some skill set with you, that will engage in play, a dog that you can take on walks, a dog that can protect the family at the same time. But other than that, I mean, your melancholic canine, when you're training those guys, they're usually a couple ways to identify a melancholic. They're the bigger, it's a bigger style of an animal versus your chlorics and your sanguis. And then their conditional reflexes, when we're training these guys, they're going to be a lot more slower. And a little bit, they're not going to fire as high. So if we look again at that heart rate monitor on a linear line, instead of your chloric being your 10, your sangui being a 7, well, now your melancholic, they're going to be falling in the line of a 4, of a 5, right around that range, which means, hey, they're great in obedience work because they're always listening to you. They're great to develop bonds, and they're great to do a lot of your basic skill sets. But if you want to start to try to get into a higher skill set, such as detection work, even protection work, it's going to take a lot more effort from the educator, the developer, the trainer, to get that dog to perform those skills. That's why I feel personally, if you self-diagnose this canine as a melancholic, you diagnose yourself as a melancholic, or even you are of chloric temperament, but you have physical ailments that inhibit you from being able to be more active with your canine. This is a perfect match to create that balance that we're always talking about. My Godfather analogy, if we take the Godfather movies, the way I like to think of Tiny, my melancholic, is she's more of Don Corleone. She's very reserved, very methodical and slow in thought, but deep in thought, is very controlled before they speak, before the action that they do.
That I cannot do. Buonasera. Buonasera. What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully? If you'd come to me in friendship, then the scum that ruined your daughter would be suffering this very day. And if by chance an honest man like yourself should make enemies, then he would become my enemies. And then they would fear you.
He's very reserved. He's very calm. He listens. Even if maybe a negative reaction should be elicited, he doesn't show that. He never shows a high. He never shows too much of a low. He will kind of give those sighs, those deep breaths. If he does ever show any emotion, it's more on the getting out the emotion and a relief of despair a little bit, where it's more of a sigh. And that might be a good reference point to see that they are listening to us, but they are in a very low innate state of mind. Nothing really gets to them too much. It really takes a huge event, a huge traumatic event to get that melancholic to really fire. Now I'm here with Tiny. Tiny's our melancholic, but you can see right before I get to the door, right, of the kennel, the chloric was jumping, impulse control low, the sangui was holding the sit, but more intensely. Now the melancholic seats a lot bigger, but not a lot of excitation. She's excited to get out. Sits. Good girl. But watch how she comes out. Okay? Not like a springboard, right? Not just rocketing out of her kennel. She's a lot slower coming out of her kennel, a lot more controlled. The first thing that she wants to do is she goes and she finds herself some water, not roaming the area, taking over the area, just kind of just happy to just coexist with me in this space. Not heavy. We got a toy that's on the on top of the cabinet. So before we even saw our 11-year-old Melancholic Canine, couldn't take her eyes off of the toy. So it's a lot different of a low gear here, right? So if you're that companion homeowner, or and this is the kind of dog that you want to be able to watch movies with and sit around and do some basic skill set, and it's a Malinois. You'll hear the saying that, you know, Malinois are a Malingator and Malinois, you know, have this stigma. That's why breeds, the four tempers has nothing to do with the breed. Every breed has the four tempers. So it's not, oh, I bought a German Shepherd and therefore you're going to have this. No, that's not true. It's a breed. It's an organism. We're all organisms. And so just because of me and what I am doesn't, you know, it's almost getting into the fact that, hey, Italians are this, and, you know, different ethnicities come along with different, you know, sets of characteristics. No, we all have our you know, based off of the four tempers. It's an innate being. So we have our melancholic, our AKA Don Corleone. So let's see if I can show you how the central nervous system of this melancholic canine is different from a Sangui dog and of a chloric dog. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to use the food reward method and see if we can elicit some sort of a reaction with Tiny. Kind of running low here, I only have a couple of pieces left, but it should be enough to show you what we're trying to convey here. So I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get in my recall. Tiny, here. Wow, good girl, Tiny. Again, unlike the chloric, right? The melancholic canine allows me to put my hands on her without any type of resistance, without any type of, this isn't agitating her. My hands, is not creating any type of excitation with Tiny. Let's see how quick Tiny is to do a movement. Tiny, foos. Oh, good girl. Foos. Good girl. Foos. Foos. Very go lucky, very go happy. Off. Good job. Good off. I'll reinforce. Eyes. Very, very calm central nervous system. Eyes. Good girl. Very good girl. Impulse control is very controlled. It's very collected. Ah. See if I can. Great. I didn't repeat the command. I just try to use some physical manipulation, some external unconditioned stimuli to get her to go back down. I'll go ahead and I'll pay her. Good girl. I'll reinforce. But again, Tiny. I'm going to back her up. Off. Good girl. Good girl. Now, I'll make myself a little bit more exciting to see if I can stimulate and bring her up a notch so she's listening a little more. And she holds, but you can see Tiny starts to disengage a lot quicker, even with the food method. Becomes boring. She's just not engaged in it. Her central nervous system is so sluggish, so low, it's difficult to get her to fire and to learn new commands. So you have to work with her a lot more in the conditional reflex and try to bring her central nervous system up a little bit. Tiny, free. So what we're going to do is, obviously the food wasn't enough to kind of hold her. Let's see if I can go ahead and get a tug. Now the one thing that Tiny does like to do, it does stim her up. You can see right away, I got the tug out. I got a lot more focus than Tiny. Tiny is now focused on her tug toy because Tiny loves to play. She loves to interact with the coach, the trainer, the educator. It's something that really brings, Tiny's all about that bond moment. She's very loyal. The Melancholics, you'll see that a lot. They're very, very, very loyal canines, to where she wants to now engage with the toy, but more importantly, she wants to engage with me with the toy. So let's see what we can do here. Foos. Oh, a lot quicker. Foos. A lot quicker than the food. Foos. Good. Foos. Seats. Good job. Foos. Good. Upward. Wow. Oh, there we go. Tiny loves to play this game more than anything. But you can see how the excitation has changed with Tiny. By bringing in a toy, I've upped the game a little bit. Now, if I brought in a ball, not the same, because the ball doesn't allow me to interact with my canine the way the toy allows me to interact with the canine. Tiny sits. Los. Good girl. Good girl. Now I have her attention. I was able to bring her from a 4, right? I was able to drive her, shift gears, and bring her up now to a 6, maybe a 7, the more I play with her. Apart. The more I play with her, the more I can get her to engage with me even more and more higher in excitation. Now, a ball probably can't do this. Ball on a rope probably won't be able to do this. But this tug absolutely is able to get her into the excitation I want her to get her in. Los! Never take the toy. Good girl. Let her give it to you, right? Never create conflict. Apart. Good girl. See how she wants to constantly engage in me? She wants to bring the toy. She wants to start the fight. She wants to fight. This dog would be a great sentry dog. Great dog to protect the family. That's what she wants to do. That's where her loyalty lies. And easy to teach that type of a game to this dog, because this is the excitation that she wants to fire on. This isn't a dog that's going to want to do scent work. Too boring. Doesn't care about a ball. Those rewards, doesn't care. So harder to train a dog on something they don't want to do. Los. Don't take the toy. Let her give it to you. Good girl. Good girl. But you can see the state of mind that she's in now. She's calm. Central nervous system is calm. Off. Look at the way she resets herself. Eyes. Good eyes. Balanced. Easy to work with. Eyes. Good girl. Good girl. Let's get her to fire again. Right now, she's at a 4. Let's get her to fire to a 7. Apart. Good. Good. Got her to fire to a 7. She's in a 7. Look at everything that's going on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is, oh, Tiny. Such a big, woohoo. There we go. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. Got her to fire up. Now let's reset her. Let's shift her back down and put her back at that 4. Los. Good girl. Off. Good girl. Good girl. She's very calm. I got her back into that 4 that I want to get her in. She's able to learn. She's able to focus. She's able to move on. Any impulse control? Is she trying to take the toy out of my hand right now? No. Would a chloric? Yes. Is it the chloric's fault? No. It's who they are. This is what and who Tiny is. She's melancholic by her innate nature. It is what she is. I cannot train that out of her. So what we want to do when we coach, when we teach, when we educate, we take what they are and we use the appropriate training technique and the appropriate training method to enhance their innate being. And then it is our job to teach based off who they are. Every dog can learn and every dog can perform a job. It's the coach, it's the teacher, it's the educator, it's the developer's job to teach and to enhance the capabilities that have been given to the dog. Thank you for watching.